which is mentioned in the Bible. That's that sperm, right? And so then that seed and that ovum, and they come together. Big bang, boom. Microcosm in the body. They come together, and then we have a little meiosis and mitosis. Things start dividing. Things start moving around to build up that job, light cells, right? That momentum, that's that spinning, with that movement. Now, that means there's a thought or a word or a sound or an utterance that starts this process. So we're seeing thought is energy. And the reason why these tools are so important, because remember, we saw covenant keepers and covenant violations. So on a universal level, on a mental reservoir, these are two different places accessing. You can access. If you are those of the covenant keepers, you might be accessing the Akashic records, that library, that too, because you're in tune with that, because you're doing the things necessary to get the ID card to come on in. But if you're doing the gossiping and the lying and the stealing and the complaining, you get another key card. But that key card allows you to go to the covenant violations library, and that's called the NASARITE records. That's the people who drink us. The drink. Because in this Bible, it mentions constellations. It mentions Nazareth. It mentions Pleiades. It mentions the that's what it does. That's in Job 9:9. Ew. So these energy beings come and they form a baby, right? If possible, can we please type in what actually is a thought and how is information physical? If you go to Google, what is a thought and how is information physical? Now, I'm a counselor. I'm a clinical counselor. And so I deal a lot of times with people's mental health and wellness. Let's go ahead and click here. So these are some of the things that I review with the clients and people that I work with. I ended up going into counseling. I was telling my story because, I grew up in the hood, South Side Chicago. And there was a lot going on. And I was trying to figure out what's everybody's touch, including me. So I ended up going into this field. And when you click here, it says they are representations of matter and are encoded in matter. Can you click on that for me? They have shape and weight. So it talks right here at the very bottom. The brain requires an inordinate amount of energy to do its work, right? And it says that, that's right. We're good. Okay. The brain's rate of caloric burden increases when engaged in cognitive demanding tasks. You gotta think. Energy and mass are interchangeable. E equal MC squared. Since thoughts are energy signals, the energy transmitting the thought, therefore, has mass. The ions and molecules encoding the energetic signals have mass too. All right. So when we say here at the Holy Cryptic Church, your energy beings, we're not coming from a spooky place. Come on. Everything here is science-based. It's facts. It's things that you can understand in a way that makes sense. So remember that, right? Energy, thoughts. Come on out of that. Let's go ahead and jump over to Jeremiah 1:5 real quick. And then we're going on to the train of Revelations because we got a layover in Revelations. Jeremiah 1:5. Jeremiah 1:5. And it says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou comest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So before I formed thee in the belly, could you click on that word for me, please? Bitsing. This is another word for belly, for womb, for body, within. See the hunger, see the mental faculties, or depths of Sheol. Can you go back? Before I formed thee in the belly, I formed thee, Yasar. To form thee is to form, to fashion, to frame of human activity, of divine activity, of creation, of original creation. We always talk about there's an original creation, and we said that those first people from last week, they were part of that creation of individuals at conception. That's what it says. To be formed, to be predetermined. Okay, so you came here with a purpose. There's a plan for you. I knew you before you were formed in the belly. Can you go ahead and go back? So we got one word from womb, which is Benson, and then go ahead down. Let's click two more words here. Yada, I knew thee, which is to know knowledge, to know, learn to perceive and see, to find out and discern, to discriminate, to distinguish, to know by experience, to be acquainted with, to know a person carnally, to know how to be skillful in, to have knowledge, to be wise, to be made known or become known, to be revealed, to make oneself known, to be instructed. To take the instructions. You gotta be made known. And then once you get those instructions and you go out, you make yourself acquaintances so you can declare to other people the truth. Amen. Come on out of here. Let's jump on over. Revelations 12, 1 and 2. So a couple of weeks before this time, when we first started, the sisters, we talked about being born again, and this is a woman of Israel. And it says, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars, and she being with child cried, travailing in birth, and pained to be delivered. Now, I don't know if you all know, because we're going to bounce around this chapter, but right now, Black women are travailing in birth. Right now, Black mothers are dying on the table. Maternity deaths are at an all-time high. Black women in real time. This is a biblical quote, but this prophecy will continue. Prophecy will continue to do the same thing until we do something different. Amen. To disrupt this program. And so there are Black women's and the mortality rates. Why do so many Black women die in pregnancy? This is real. This is happening now. So they're travailing in birth. Could you type up in the etymology travailing so we could just be clear why we're teaching church? Because sometimes we just say words, and I've been very guilty of it. Well, I'll just say it, but I don't really know what it means. And when I say I don't know what it means, you have to be able to simplify it so a child can understand it. Teachers to labor, to toil, trouble, torment, torture, suffering, or painful effort. So this woman in Revelation 12 is going through the same thing that the women, Black, melanated women, mothers today are going through. Can we go ahead and go back to that same verse? And there appeared, I want to touch the word appeared. I want to touch the word great. Up, I feel just going in, brother. He going in optometry. Now, it says optonoma. So it has like the similar phonetics, right? In there, right? Could you scroll on down? And it says, let's be clear, to look at to allow oneself to be seen to appear. All right, let's go to that next word. Let's hit great. And let's get ready with the etymology dictionary because this is the one. This is our pit stop. This is our pit stop. Magus. Let's go ahead down. It's an adjective. Keep going down. Let's do this outline. Okay, so great. Of external form, a sensible appearance of things or of persons. So that means to become, to appear. In particular, of space and its dimensions and respect. Can you look up the word space? Can you look up the word dimension? We're going to look up the next words, mass and weight. Let's look these words up. So you can understand what great is. Space, extent, or area or room, a period of time, a distance, right? An amount of extent of time, a ground, a place, a distance, an interval between two or more objects, a ground, a land, territory, extensions in three dimensions, distance between two or more points. Okay. Astronomical sense of stellar depth, immense emptiness between the worlds as a characteristic of the universe. So the same space that's happening there is happening here. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go back to the next word. Social media, I'm gonna have you humping. So sorry. That's the word dimensions. Every word, we're gonna look at dimensions, we're gonna look at mass, we're gonna look at weight, we're gonna look at all of these words. Dimensions, measurable extent, measured along the diameter. Measuring, to measure, both size, extent, or capacity. Let's go back. Let's look at mass and weight. Irregular shaped lump to body of unshaped, coherent matter. A lump, a heap, a pile, a crowd. Kneaded dough, a lump, that which adheres together like dough. Okay, so when that egg and that ovum come together, it starts making a lump like clay. It's black, it's moving around. It has motion, it has energy. Okay. All of involving composed of masses of people, a large quantity, amount, or number. Bulk. Let's go back. Let's hit weight. We're gonna do it word by word because this is where our doctor. Because then they can't. We think you won't be able to argue with it because it makes sense. Age, weight, downward force of a body, heaviness, a burden, to lose weight, to get thinner. Okay, physicality. Let's go back. We're going to continue to go down this verse with this greatness. Let's put on the next word. And that would be compass and extent. Compass and extent. And it says compass and extent, large spaces. Let's put in compass, let's put in extent. The space, an area, extent, a circumference, a circle, a radius, a size, and extent. A pair of compass, a mathematical instrument for describing circles, limits, boundaries, a range of notes which give a given voice an instrument can produce. Okay, to go around in a circle. Let's go back. Let's do extent, E-X-T-E-N-T, and then we're going to do measure and height. Scroll down, extent, tax. We want to go to the one underneath tax. Not talking tax, even though tax season is coming. Everybody up before don't forget these taxes. Scroll on down to spread out. To measure, can you hit related entries and more? To extend, to value, to assess. Okay, let's go back. Let's get measure and height. Let's look at this measure and this height. To measure, to exercise moderation. To deal out, to divide by measure, to ascertain the spatial dimensions, the quantity, the capacity, of comparison with standards. Okay, we got some more to go. Let's keep going. It's gonna make sense. We still in the Bible. And we're talking about this megas. Yes? Let's get the height, the stature, and the age. Height, highest point, summit the heavens, right? Excellence, high degree of quality. That's the height, right? Just from the bottom to the top. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's hit stature and age. Stature, the natural height of a body, a build, a structure. Okay, so your stature, physical beings, to stand, make, or be firm. Places or things that is standing. Okay, so we got height, we got stature, we got momentum. Okay, we're going somewhere with this. Let's keep going. Let's hit age. Long but indefinite period in human history, an age, a life, a lifetime, a lifespan. Okay, so we got age in here. And once again, this is still all part of that megas. Great O. Then we go to B. It says number and quantity. Can you hit the number? Can you hit quantity? No, I know you don't. I know y'all know this one. No, we do. But we just want to be clear. Because when you walk them through, you got to walk them through piece by piece. Number, a sum, an aggregate of the collection, to assign, a lot, to take, written symbols of figures of arithmetic value. Okay, the sense of a musical selection, where acts marked by a number, the trickle sound of utterance, measured or harmonic expression, sound, numbers. Okay, so we got sounds, we got numbers, we got movement. All right. Can we hit this quantity? Can we hit intensity? Can we hit degree? This is all part of megas. All of this is part of megas. All of this is part of being great. Quantity, your amount, your magnitude, again, your measure or extent. Size, what size, how much, how great, how great. We always talk about the knowledge principles. We are very specific. So these forefathers, these foremothers, these ancestors of us, ours, they grew the universe. And it's in the Bible. But if you don't study, if you don't read, you don't know how to get there. Can we go ahead over to degree? Degree. Oh, this is my favorite. Hey, a, a stair, a position in hierarchy, a stage, a process, a single movement toward an end, a step, an academic degree, a way, a manner, a condition, a state, a standing. These are all degrees. A hierarchy is step. Can you scroll on up? One of the number of subdivisions of something extended in space or time, hence intensive quality, measure, extent, the meaning of 1/360 degree of a circle. The division of a circle into 360 degrees. A measure of heat. Here at the Holy Coptic Church of the Black Messiah, we have Coptic Pope. He always talks about the coup. He always talks about the center. He always says change by 1 degree.